Just orange screen. Welcome to the Max Verstappen supporter stream.
Hello and welcome to the EERC British Touring Car Round 2 at Silverstone Circuit in England, the home of British motor racing, and that's going to see Round 2 get underway. I'm Edward Hunter and I'm commentating with my co-commentator Joshua Birch.
Hello.
Qualifying has just got underway. And the first few laps have been set. There you go, you can see them on stream now. So we have just under 10 minutes left to go. And it is Eric Neef for Coach Eric Academy currently setting the pace. At the moment you're looking at Nassim Alawi, 4th overall. And you may recognise he's in a different, he was in a blue independent entry last time for EEERC Racing, which is his own entry. And now he's decided to team up with Hunter Birch Simulation as we see the Coach Eric car really sliding on the exit of that looks like not Stowe. Was that Stowe?
Cops Corner.
Cops, yeah.
Down
Stowe's
to
Indiana
Beckett. Yeah.
I got the two mixed up.
The amount of times I've
It's
done
Eric
that.
Neef, of course, yeah.
This is Chapel. He's a little bit slow. Using the full layout of Silverstone, which is always entertaining. Never usually get to run this for touring cars. Usually they use the national circuit, which is Cops, Beckett's, then going down the Wellington Straight towards Brooklands, Woodcote, Luffield area. There was a plan to use the international section with the big wing, but coronavirus sort of stopped that. Plans for 2020 it wasn't seen on the 2021 calendar, and it's been dropped completely for 2022, which I'm a bit upset about because that's 2 visits to Cluxton, and we're going to have 2 visits to Silverstone on 2 very different tracks. But
looks
few
like
off
Eric
there.
Neef going off track there. I'm pretty sure that was Eric, just going off at the Club Corner, yeah.
One thing that's interesting to me is the fact that we're seeing lap times here was 2:13.764 already in the qualifying. That is only 6 seconds slower than what the Moto 3 guys do around here. So that is incredible pace for a touring car to do that sort of lap time. That's not bad at all, especially on a full track at Silverstone.
No, not at all. So it really shows how hooked up these cars are going to be to set absolutely stellar lap times around here. Of course, these long, constant radius corners, as we see Nassim Alawi negotiating Brooklands, and are really getting the rear slide out, actually, which is great fun to watch. As we see yellow in the first, was that a first or final sector, Josh?
I think it was the first sector it looked at. We've got a slow car coming into the back at Brooklands.
Yeah, this
Yellow
is
sector 2 and 1.
Skavanos, we're just watching at the moment for HVML team. Going for Brooklands himself down in 15th. He'll be looking to get a time a bit closer to the top 10. Of course, there are a lot of the runners who finished in the top 10 in the 2 races from Barcelona have got success ballast. Eric Neef, I believe, I forget which of the Eric, is it Conrad or Neef who's leading the championship at the moment? As we look at Skavanos really getting Cops very wrong there. I think it was almost like he was going to hit the inside wall there, and he's had to back out.
Big oversteer moment as well, full correction as he heads down towards Maggotts and Beckett's. This is usually when the touring cars turn off back to the Wellington. Now we're going to do the second half of this famous section of tarmac. Many people say, oh, you can't change Maggotts and Beckett's, it's historical. It's actually changed considerably in the 90s when the track was modified for the 1994 season, and nobody complained then. about the changes. So Silverstone, very much a shadow of its former self, but I think it's morphed into one of the best racing circuits we have on any racing calendar. As Eric Neath, there you are, for Coach Eric Academy, just circulating now through Chapel, named Chapel because back in World War II days there was a chapel there before the hangar straight where obviously all the airplanes were held back in World War II. Stoke Corner.
Constant yellow. Oh, it's just cleared now as I say that.
Yeah.
I was trying to look for the time, how much session we had, like how time left in the session. It's now another yellow in Sector 2.
Yeah, Stowe Corner named after Stowe School, which is actually where my cousin works as a school teacher. So there's always a little bit of a family link back to Silverstone. I'm always happy to say anytime when we race at this track. But it's a beautiful circuit and we're seeing some beautiful times.
Yeah.
And Ed, as we look
21,
at,
in fact, as we look at Sederland just getting into the top 6 for Frinavond for the Dutch team in their bright orange and black livery. So 21 cars have set lap times. The only ones who haven't are Carl Magnus Bore, Pascal Eggert, and Nick Homewood. So the 444 and the 445, both Frinavond entries. The 59, an Iris entry for Carl Magnus Bore. As we look at Nassim Alaoui, who has set a personal best first sector.
Ooh, and that is, was it not? It's a 10th up exactly. It's a 10th up exactly. Oh, boy, goes top.
That's a good time to get on the board there. A 2-minute 12.6, almost a whole second faster than Eric Neve's best effort, with 4.5 minutes left to go. Suddenly, Iris it's looking like Iris and Coach Eric having a good fight at the top.
How many hours have they poured into practice for Silverstone? We've had a long time since Barcelona, because we run in tandem with the Endurance Championship. That gets underway next Saturday on the 19th for the 8 hours here at Silverstone. So this is like a test event for the endurance drivers, but they all take this championship seriously as well because it is effectively another crown to add onto their belt. Eric Neath is fastest in the first sector by 0.09 of a second.
Yeah, shall we stay on board then with Eric Neath as much as we can? I'll turn off the auto director then before it turns me off. But look at him going through Maggots and Beckett's here, and the rear threatening to step out at every little corner. But he's got the car set up on a knife edge and he's able just about to deal with the success ballast. As you see, marginally up on the time that he needs for the first sector, and still a 10th up, almost 2 tenths actually through sector 2. So I think he's looking good to exceed that time by Carl Magnus Bore. Let's look through the final couple of corners here. Through Stowe, the rear threatening to break away, but he holds on, and now it's just into Club Corner. Of course, this used to be midway through the lap, and now it's the final corner since the changes in 2010. Or 2011 rather, when they actually changed the start line. But here we go. Eric Neath powers through the last corner towards the timing line. Is it going to be pole position with just under 3 minutes left to go?
Oh!
Yes, it is. By 2 tenths, in fact.
So one goes a second quicker. I say hold that. Eric goes faster. Tell you what though, Ed, until you said about the track changes, I completely believed myself that he started the entire last sector to go because I'm used to touring cars being on the Beckett's Cops Corner start line. So it's completely thrown me off guard on the F1 layout.
Yeah, here's Titus Conrad just finishing his lap, Josh. Sorry to interrupt, but he's on a personal best here, and he gets up to 4th, beating Chris Davis, who himself had actually set a very impressive lap time from nowhere. We haven't talked too much about Mr. Davis here. Here he is in his independent entry, which is obviously represented by the Lev speed, because this clearly wasn't time for Chris to make a livery, I think. But there we go. An impressive lap time to get into the top 5, just ahead of our driver, Nassim Alaoui, who, of course, having changed teams, he's lost his points essentially from the opener, where he finished in 3rd, and then failed to finish in the second race. Yeah, there we go. Chris clearly abandoning that lap there and going back to the pit lane for some fresh tyres and fuel. But he's not really got time to do another 2 laps, so I think that's it really for Davis.
He's got the Union flag though on the roof, so at least he can claim he's running a special Jubilee livery for Her Majesty the Queen.
I guess he could. Geelhead not up in the first sector, sadly, as we listen to that MG roar as it goes through the old start finish straight and into Cops.
Is he flat? Yeah, I think he was actually.
He's 2 seconds down though on this lap, so I don't think that's going to be a significant improvement
Magnus Ball was sliding that rear of the car.
Magnus Ball is still on an outlap. I don't think he's going to have time. Scabados, here we go. He's coming to finish his run. The auto director really likes Victor Scabados because he keeps picking him up. Here we go. He's still a couple of seconds down on the leaders.
Stays
and
19th.
he stays 19th, so that wasn't particularly impressive. And in fact, off he goes because he knows that he clearly didn't get a great run onto the main straight. Here's Petravki. He's been running up near the front in the reverse grid race in Barcelona. So can he get himself a little bit further up the grid? We have a much, I think, a slightly better attendance, despite a couple of people struggling to get in.
Whoa! That Team Iris is looking completely unstable.
Looking completely out of control. There's that Valente right behind him as Bloomshine in the Frina Bond gets up to third. So a brilliant effort by Tobias Bloomshine as the Frina Bond, Carl Magnus Bore, and that looks like must be Alessandro Valente being held up there.
And Conrad moves to third, so that time for Tobias has been dropped down now. Check if
Excellent by
that's
Tobias
out.
Conrad there.
So gap now, 9-10 separated in the top four at the moment. That's his stellar laps here at Silverstone.
Yeah, and of course, getting on pole position is going to be a big advantage into that run into turn one. But we could see the guys with the heavier ballast struggling to get off the line. It's that easy likes of Titus Conrad, Eric Neef, and probably Valente as well down in 9th. But there we go. Everyone seems to be finishing off. I don't see anyone else improving at the moment, Josh.
No, Titus is improving on his own personal best time, but he's not gone purple.
I'm not sure he's going to be able to finish the lap, though.
I think that's it. I think we've got the running order, which is fantastic. It's a shame that I won't be here for the races, but I'll watch them later looking fantastic. But the one thing is, last time I missed the touring car race, which was the second race in Barcelona, our team got on the podium. So maybe I'll be Lawrence Stroll and just sit back quietly and only come and do the speeches when I'm called.
Well,
But
Valente's been bumped down to 10th because I believe Sedlin has improved.
Just to 8th, yeah.
Yes, so this looks like your starting grid. Let's get a little graphic up before, I think, because I don't think anyone else is still on track. So if I can just get the... No, it's not. It's not playing ball.
Oh, is it froze again?
Oh, no, I think I'm in there now, so let's see.
Hey, here we go. The complete running order now on your screens, with not that long to go before lights out. I'm getting more and more beeps in my ears as well, indicating that somebody's trying to get hold. Here's the grid, Ed.
Yeah, there we go. So Eric Neef is on pole position with a time of 2 minutes 12.2. Puts him almost 9/10 clear of Titus Conrad in the end. Is this the right? No, this looks like practice. Here we go.
That is the practice time. No, that is now. Yep, best
There we go. So now it's
PT10.
showing the qualifying time. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. That's what happens when you click buttons randomly and hope that something happens. Eric Neef is on pole position, but only by 2 tenths from Carl Magnus Bore in the Iris. Titus Conrad will start third for Coach Eric. Tobias Bloomshine in his first appearance for Team Iris, not for Frinavond. He has driven for Frinavond in other series, like Formula E, EERC Formula E. Sven Gielhed will be fourth for Iris in the other Iris. Winner, of course, in race 1. Was he? Yeah, he was. Chris Davis will start 6th. Nassim Alawi will start 7th in his first start for Hunter Birch Simulation. Maurice Sederland will start 8th. Alessandro Valente 2nd in the points. He will start 9th for Hunter Birch.
Hey.
Benz Forrest will start 10th. And unfortunately, R-Factor has just gone full screen on me, so I can't actually access any of the other group positions.
Well,
I
the
can't do
top.
anything now.
So they're beginning to form up anyway, but
There we
the
go.
top four separated by 9/10 of a second is amazingly good as the cars are beginning
Chris
to
Hill
form up.
11th, Francisco Perez 12th, Peter Schumann 13th, Pascal Eggert 14th, Thomas McHugh 15th, Nick Homewood 16th, Maximilian Petracki 17th, Daniel Iodashi 18th, Victor Scavados 19th in the end, from Bruce Duncan in 20th, and then final page should be Agos Farrago, Ruben Simonite, Marius Iodashi, the other Iodashi family member, and Adam Varga, 24th and last, rounds out the field. So here we go then. Sounds like we're about to get going.
Gonna look for the counter to start ticking down. Still a few cars popping into position.
Yeah,
I'll
sound
head
about, I
off.
had the revs going in
Yeah.
panic there.
Don't
But
worry.
Eric Neef will be the one to watch. Both the
Valente.
Coach Eric cars, the 11 and the 284, have a bit of success ballast.
Valente's still in the pit lane.
Valente hasn't made it. Oh, our second
Oh.
world championship man.
But Hughes
McHugh
too.
still, yeah, Miss Hughes still. Hughes made it. So it's just
Hey.
Valente they're waiting on now. With our driver, awkwardly enough. Let's have a look. Valente's
Valente,
saying, it's so
yeah.
hard to drive this, it just doesn't want to turn. That's what he's just said in my chat. So
Oh dear. That's
so
in
that's
the
why he's
Subaru.
struggling
He's on the
in
grid.
qualifying. Okay. Sounds like we're about to get going then.
I'll stay for the first lap and then I'll have to disappear. But let's go racing in Silverstone. 7 seconds to the green, Ed.
Okay then. So the lights come out and we'll be racing at race 1 in Silverstone. Who's going to get the best getaway? Is it Eric Neef or Carl Magnus Bore? Away they go, and Eric Neef rockets away, and Conrad follows through. Bore made a horrible start there. But who's that coming in the back? It's Alawi, looking at the inside of the three irises there. All in a
Well,
line,
shows
and
us to third.
Valente has made a great start there. He's right alongside his teammate, but it's still Eric Neef leading. So we've got the two Coach Erics, the three irises, and the two Hunter Birches.
Oh.
Look at them battling.
They're side by side. They touch! No!
Spins into Valente. How did they get away with that one?
I don't know what Christian Horner feels like every single time his team comes together. Unbelievable. They were so close. They're slipping and sliding. They've all got no grip either. But Neef leads the way. Conrad down as well.
Twitching like crazy in Christine Horner. We're sort of both Christine Horner split into two, aren't we, Josh?
Yes.
As we look at Peter Schumann battling with Perez down in for 13. There was a little bit of contact up front as it looks like Valente is struggling. Chris Davis did not make the best start, but Valente is struggling to hold him off with his much heavier car here. Chris Davis really looking like he wants to challenge here.
Looking to the inside. If you do the run, you can do a Hamilton on Verstappen into the inside. Oh, he backed out of it. Why? So the touring car very difficult to get up the inside of Cops Corner. Rob Collard tried that a number of years ago and ended up barrel rolling, so it's not a great idea. But watch out, Gearhold had a terrible start. He's trying to take to 5th place, passed by his teammates and Pierce.
Oh, trying to get past his teammate again. And Schumann really defending into Beckett's there.
Fantastic run as well as they come down now out of Maggots and Beckett's on board with Eric Neef, leading the way 5/10 of a second advantage, but look further back. Blumshad's trying to go right round the outside of Conrad. Can he hold around the outside? He's got the pace if he wants to. Just send him round. They've got the grip on the outside. They make a bit of contact. They still again.
There, and really defensive stuff from Titus Conrad, and now Blumshine has got Bore right behind him, looking to take advantage while Nassim Alawi fights with Geelhead just behind. Oh, and look!
Oh!
Brilliant stuff by Blumshine. It's a counter-attack. Oh, almost spun!
They're slipping.
Conrad, who also lets Bore through. So
Go Tobias!
Third now.
Brilliant from Tobias as well. He's made a storming start on the first lap, and now in true Murray Walker fashion, I've got to stop. I've got to leave the commentary box. Have fun, Ed.
Alawi and Geelhead have a great fight, but goodbye, Josh. But oh, what a brilliant start to this race then. And Alawi continues to battle with Sven Geelhead, goes up the inside at the village, the infield section. And now tries the outside of Sven Geelhead. Is he going to be able to pull this one off as he's held up by the Coach Eric car? And a Valente starts to close in as well. What brilliant entertainment we're seeing here, folks. As the order then, Neef from Blumshine, Bore, Conrad and Geelhead, but here we go. Geelhead attacks Conrad. Can he get through on the inside here at Brooklands? And it looks like he has. There we go. So Geelhead being shuffled out, actually, not quite able to force the move. And this is going to let Nassim Alawi potentially find his way through. As they all blare their horns like crazy, and Alawi looks for the inside. Can he pull the move off here on the two of them? Or he's going to get Sven Geelhead. But Titus Conrad holds on to fourth by the skin of his teeth, and it's all a big train behind him now, as actually Geelhead's been able to slip back through, and the two Hunter Birch cars right in the thick of this battle, as Titus Conrad crazily tries to hold on. As Schumann gets a penalty for something or other, presumably for contact or going off track, as Titus Conrad goes very off track at the exit of Beckett's Chapel. And as we see the two Iris cars swapping position, Blumshine and Bore just up ahead. And it looks like Conrad has got his mirrors full as Hibru comes. That looks like Alawi. Alawi had to back out there. Oh, the rear steps out. All looking a bit hairy here. This battle for fourth position between Conrad, Geelhead and Alawi as a Schumann battles with Boros. Schumann actually gaining a lot of positions back there. I'm not sure what happened. We were on board. Actually, Schumann had to go and serve that penalty, of course. That's what's happened. But anyway, we continue to look at the Hunter cars fighting Sven Geelhead as the top three start to pull away slightly. Ali has another look at Sven Geelhead. And it looks like the Paris cars are starting to battle once more. Bore staying ahead of Blumshine. So the two sort of trying to slipstream each other down the straights. At least that's what it looks like from the outside, as I have to control the cameras, unfortunately. As it sounds like Eric Kamedi the third. Oh, as we look at Alawi, having another go at Gillespie, who's held up by one of the co-chariot cars. As I'm struggling to get the cameras back up, it's just not bloody working, is it? We're sort of stuck watching our drivers, unfortunately. Usually I wouldn't normally complain about that. But they all hold station for the moment then. But Neath has got the gap to Bore up to 2 seconds, of course. So he is looking pretty comfortable. So the order then still behind Neath, it's Bore, Blumshine, Conrad, Geelhead, Alawi, Valente, Davis, Eggert and Boros rounding out the top 10 as Valente struggling with the heaviness of that Hunter Birch car as wide as he likes through Stowe. Just about gets it under control ahead of Chris Davis. As we look, actually Blumshine falling into the clutches of Conrad now as Blumshine goes a little bit wide in the Iris. Parsec just not bloody working at the moment, so I can't control the cameras. I'm really sorry about this. But there we go, look at this! And that's Conrad with Geelhead trying to go around the outside. He bumps into the side. Oh, what a horrible mess this looks like. And Alawi is going to try to go around the outside. As, they all come to grief there. And round goes Titus Conrad. What a disaster as Chris Davis gets past Alawi. Valente is now up to fourth, having avoided all the chaos there. But you sensed something was going to happen there. It's just a matter of when, wasn't it? Go, Alawi really looking a little bit wounded. The fucking thing will not let me won't let me come into Parsec now, so I'm really sorry about this. What do you think? But anyway, the order Neath, Bore from Geelhead and Valente. So yes, another big loser in that was Tobias Blumshine, who I believe is now out of the race. Oh no, he's still in the race, sorry. Look at Alawi trying to get and Seddon has been given a penalty for something, or I'd love to be able to tell you it is. I can't change the cameras, so that's that then. He's lagging behind. I said exit out and come back in. Now it won't let me go in, so yeah, stupid Parsec. But anyway, we look at Alawi trying to go challenging Davis. And yep, not much else really happening, I'm afraid. There we go, Alloy around the outside of Sedland. No, not Sedland, Davis, sorry. As we look at, there's Eggert and Boros having a little battle with Boros losing control. But Neef has now got the gap to 5 seconds up front, so Eric Neef having a dream race 1. Look at Alloy trying to defend from Davis, as I try and get in for the 500th time, and it still doesn't fucking work. You figure. So frustrating. Yeah, I can't work this while trying to commentate. I'm sorry. Look at the thing while the race is going on. I'm trying to get all the settings to work. It's a fucking disaster. Fuck! Anyway, Alloy is now up to Valente. Oh! And they make contact there on the hangar straight, and Valente almost has to yield. They fight over fourth position, sorry. And Alloy's through there, so you see there just how much the weight penalty, the ballast, is hurting him. Eric Neef has got a little bit of weight ballast, but from finishing 5th, race 2 last time out, but this is not hurting him anywhere near as much. And of course, we saw Conrad really struggle with his weight ballast as well, so Valente still looking good in the championship for him if he can keep going. But now Nassim Alloy up to 4th. Free to chase after Geelhead once more, but Geelhead is caught up to Borre. And so the battle now is really 2nd place. And I can't get in, no matter how many times I do this. Anyway, 10 minutes left of this race, and hopefully I can try and fix these issues so you can see a car that's not go. Finally! I can actually change the cameras. Jesus, that only took half an hour. The race nearly over now. Fucking thing. Anyway, there's your race leader, Eric Neef, continuing to stretch away. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, it was a bit unprofessional. But there we go. Oh, a mistake from Carl Magnus Borre, who's also got a penalty, I assume, for going off track and a bit wide at a Copse corner. But through goes Geelhead, and that's greatly going to help him from Alloy. Meanwhile, Pascal Eggert is defending from Chris Hill and Ben Sporos. Chris Hill having a great race, as Titus Conrad with his weight ballast struggles to recover behind all 3 of them. There you go, they're all in a line there down the hangar straight, as we see more of the front of on cars battling with Perez in the background, and with Trapke, sorry. Homewood having an okay run in 14th, but Eggert really has got his hands full here now. Let's go on board with Boros, who's got Conrad behind him, and a mistake in front of them. That's one of the lap cars getting out of the way. It's Chris Hill's teammate, of course, as Blumschein has now DNF'd. Oh, Boros all over the curb there, and surely, that immediately gets Titus Conrad through for 9th. Big mistake there, as we look at Chris Hill continuing to challenge Pascal Eggert. Oh, and Eggert really sliding out at the first corner there. Here they go into the village section. And, Chris Hill goes for the outside in the SRD, and Boros continues to eye Conrad. This is a great scrap here. And Conrad down the inside, and through he goes, up to 9. So not much that Ben Boros can do. He's still there around the outside. Need to make sure they don't hit each other. As ahead, Chris Hill is having another go at Pascal Eggert, and looking for the inside in that dark blue SRD. What is Pascal Eggert going to be able to do here? Side by side they go. And through he goes as they approach Brooklands. Lovely move by Chris Hill, actually. And Pascal Eggert will have to continue to fight as Bore is fighting with Alloy up ahead. Sorry we missed that. As Alloy gets ahead just after Brooklands. So another mistake. Bore is going to have to set that penalty, which is going to let Valente into fourth. So actually this is turning into a really good race for Hunter Birch Simulation, apart of course from Eric Kamedi, who couldn't quite make the start. Should be able to get on the grid in time for the reverse grid, because it sounds like he has figured out what the problem was. But anyway, Alloy now going to try and chase Sven Gielhed for second. Alloy, remember, has not got any of the weight penalty that the drivers around him are having to deal with. So 6 minutes 45 as a spin in the background. That looks like Boros, who spun at Maggots Beckett's while fighting with Pascal Eggert. And now he's going to emerge just ahead of Maurice Sutherland, who's just served his own penalty, as Sabados. That'd be Victor Sabados, of course. Then 15th, he's got a penalty of his own to serve now, so corner cutting vicious here as we've got Valente trying to fight Bore. And Bore really struggling here. He goes wide into club. And Valente, thank you, I'll take that, he says, into fourth place. 6 minutes remaining. So damage limitation in these two races with 54 kilograms. That's not an insubstantial amount of weight on the Hunter Birch simulation car. As we see another yellow, I believe that's Petravki. As Scavados going into the pits, of course, to serve that penalty. And here's Eggert fighting with Titus Conrad, who slipped ahead up into 8th. Conrad quietly going about his way as Simonite down in 20th struggles to keep Peter Schoenman in sight. And so your order is Eric Neef, who leads by almost 10 seconds now from Gielhed, who's got Alloy just 9 tenths behind him. Then there's a couple of seconds gap to Valente as Eggert continues to fight Conrad, but not quite able to make inroads. There's Carl Magnus Bore, who's still just about holding off Chris Davis. But I think Davis is going to make a move for 5th before this race is over. But at the moment, what was looking like a very good race for Coach Eric and Iris looks to be slightly under threat from Hunter Birch, who've got 2 cars, 3rd and 4th. And now Alloy continuing to challenge Sven Gielhed. This is a rerun of race 1 in Barcelona where they fought each other for the lead, let's not forget. And look at that! See how much Alloy is pushing here and taking advantage. He's loving the lack of ballast in this car. And what can Sven Gielhed do? He's got, as we look at Homewood getting a penalty, that's a big shame for him as the lapped car gets out of the way. And Alloy makes his move, takes his moment into Stowe. And he's through into 2nd position now. But it's a 10-second gap to Eric Neef. I don't think he's going to be able to close that in 4 minutes, but with the pace that Alloy's got, which has been really impressive, you would not put it past him. But certainly great news for Hunter Birch Simulation, and bad news for Iris. As Gielhed is now going to struggle to hold on to that podium from Valente, who is getting to grips with this heavy car. It's like a hippopotamus, really, isn't it, with all that ballast? Yeah, it's this way that from what... Alloy lets the rear slide out and goes wide. A mistake there. Is that going to give an opportunity for Gielhed to go back through around the outside? Here he comes. And they're going to make contact here. They need to make sure they don't come to grief again. But Gielhed wasn't quite able to get through there. A little bit of ballast making the difference there, saving the bacon for Nassim Alloy. But certainly that's not going to help him in his quest to catch Eric Neef now. Now going to be a case of consolidating 2nd, I believe. As Homewood now comes into the pits to serve that penalty. He's going to drop to 16th now. But there they are. He's not the only one. Farrago, one of the SRDs is in there. Not Chris Hill, who's still gamely going on in 7th. It's Bore. There we go. Bore has dropped behind Chris Davis now. Davis going round the outside at Brooklands. And can he complete this move? It's going to be brave if he can. As Eggert gets a penalty now too, so they're all going wide and getting penalties. As Gielhed, I think, is being caught by Valente ever so slightly. He's still right behind Alloy. There we go. Chris Davis completes the move. and Bore is down to 6th. So it's a big shame for Bore. Chris Davis having a very quietly impressive run in that independent white entry with a big Union Jack on the front. Clearly giving it a lot of good luck as we go into the final 2 minutes now. There's Geelhead. He's not giving up. He wants that second place back. And Sim Alloway, hopefully, from this unbiased, completely unbiased commentator's point of view, he's kept those tyres alive as Bore. Is that another penalty for Bore? He went wide defending from Chris Hill there. Chris Davis, sorry. Chris Hill is now about to attack him. The two Chris's, man. It's very confusing. And Conrad has had a decent recovery drive up to 8th, of course, as there's a yellow in the second sector. And into the pits goes Bore, so that's really going to hold him back. As for Trafke in 13th, he's got a penalty now as well. So it's like Oprah Winfrey, you get a penalty and you get a penalty. It's penalty mania here at Silverstone as we go into what could potentially be the last lap here. Depending on the pace of Eric Neef, he leads by 11 seconds for Coach Eric Academy. Sven Geelhead struggles to catch Nassim Alloway as Or Valente locks up really heavily into the village section. Go onto the Wellington straight now. And Geelhead getting the best run he can to put pressure on Nassim Alloway. Perhaps this may be a bit too late for him as Conrad really wants that 6th place off of Chris Hill. All that ballast on Conrad. He's 3rd in the championship, I believe. So he's got almost the same amount of ballast as Valente. But Chris Hill doing a mighty job to hold him off so far. Let's not keep our eyes off the ball. Geelhead versus Alloway is going to be the big battle for the rest of this final lap as well. But look how he just pulled a bit of a gap on him. He sensed the challenge from Geelhead starting to fade away slightly. Here's Conrad there. And, oh, a little tentativeness from Chris Hill through Cops. We've seen a very famous collision, of course. We might get another lap in because Eric Neef isn't too far away from the start-finish line. We'll have to see. But it's been a masterful drive from him. Hasn't really put a foot wrong. Certainly his driving has put my commentary to shame because I was swearing up a storm earlier and I was frustrated and trying to get the silly screen sharing software to work so I could change the cameras. So look at this. Chris Hill really under attack from Titus Conrad, who sweeps around the outside of Stowe and bumps into the side of him. Conrad through into 7th by the skin of his teeth. Can Chris Hill counter attack from this? Into club corner as we go to 0 minutes remaining, and Eric Neef is still going to get another lap in, so we are not on the final lap just yet then. He did just squeeze another lap and Chris Hill has lost out. Oh no, they did finish. So Eric Neef is the winner, sorry. From Nassim Alloway, Sven Geelhead, Alessandro Valente, Chris Davis, Titus Conrad, just getting Chris Hill right at the end there. Sorry, I completely misread that because the graphic hadn't shown up in time. Car Magnus Bore finishes 8th in the pit lane. That's interesting. Marius Sedland just holds him to 10th from Boros. Where did that come from? Boros challenging Sedland right at the end there as Valente really struggling with his... Oh, is that Alloway? Sorry. Oh, look, the horns blaring there as the rest of the field finishes. Davidos 13th, just behind Petrafsky. Homewood 14th. Carl Magnus Bore 15th in the end. A very disappointing end to the race for him. Thomas McHugh 16th. Marius Iadache 17th. Peter Schumann 18th. Daniel Iadache will take 19th when he finishes. Well, I believe pole position for the first good race is going to be Akos Farago, who I believe is still going in 23rd because Blumschein and Duncan have retired. But here we go. Can Iadache catch Schumann at the depth here? He's going to... Oh, march into the side. Careful, Daniel. Oh, he's just about caught Peter Schumann completely unawares there. That was ballsy from Daniel Iadache. He takes 18th position. And Peter Schumann will not be happy about that at all. Here comes Simonite, the third Coach Eric driver. Doing well to finish. And in 20th, but it's only the top 15 that will get the points. So I believe Carl Magnus Bore will take the final points. Oh, sliding into the wall there goes Simonite. Actually, he finishes... I think Iadache has a penalty that's been applied post-race, so that move didn't really matter. There's Varga. He will finish Bruce Duncan retired early, of course, but Akos Farago, 5 laps down, I believe, as the last classified finisher. It'll be him or Varga on pole, either way. And the non-finishers, I believe, will start again at the back. And then, of course, there was Blumschein, who also retired. So, very briefly then, while we wait for race 2, let's have a brief look at the final results in their totality. It's something I would love to be able to do, but unfortunately, a bit laggy. There we go. Session results, here we go. Not qualifying. Sorry. Race 1. So, there you go. Eric Neef wins dominantly in the end from Nassim Alawi. He takes Hunter Birch Simulation's second podium. Sven Gielhed just lost second at the end there. Valente gets crucial points in the championship. Those 54 kilograms didn't slow him down too much. He just held on to 4th from Chris Davis. An impressive drive by him in the number 75. Titus Conrad recovered up to 6th after an accident where he was spun around. Chris Hill took 7th for SRD, another impressive driver. Carl Magnus Bore, oh no, this is the grid. I'm pretty sure Carl Magnus Bore was 15th. So I'm not sure what he's doing in 8th here. But it could just be a error. There we go. So Eric Neef, victorious from Nassim Alawi, Sven Gielhed, Alessandro Valente 4th, Chris Davis 5th, Titus Conrad 6th, Chris Hill 7th, Pascal Eggert in 8th, Maurice Sederlin just held on to 9th from Ben Sporos. And then, Francisco Perez was 11th from Maximilian Petravki in 12th, Victor Scavados took 13th, Nick Homewood was 14th, Carl Magnus Bore 15th, Thomas BQ 16th, Mario Ciadashu 17th, Peter Schumann 18th, Ruben Simonite 19th, Daniel Iadashu 20th, despite that late move. And then, I believe that's it. So, we now focus our attention on race 2. Whenever the server sorts itself out. We'll wait for that to happen. Certainly, we'll be hoping to see some of the drivers rejoin in time, if they can. I was hoping to have a co-commentator join in the form of Alex Hallows. I bet my swearing earlier may have scared him away.
Oh, no, it hasn't.
Oh, hello, Alex. Yeah, sorry about that. I was having a lot of trouble with Parsec. And I literally couldn't control the cameras.
Oh, it's definitely
It was so
fine,
frustrating because we were watching my driver. We couldn't see anything else. And I'm trying to fix it and come back in while doing the commentary, which is very stress-inducing. This is usually why you have a team of people, usually who are actually in the game, controlling the cameras.
Oh, definitely.
But
I
certainly
do agree.
a very exciting race. Eric Neef winning. But my driver, Nassim Alawi, on his debut for Hunter Birch Simulation, getting a valuable second place. Another Hunter Birch Simulation driver just finishing 4th in the form of Alessandro Valente, just behind Sven Gielhed. So the title protagonists, it's really taking shape, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I saw some awesome racing from race 1, and watching from behind the scenes, I've seen some incredible overtakes, amazing contacts, and well, lots of crashes and lots of penalties as well, like Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah, we were very much expecting carnage though, and I can't get the full screen. We're looking at the we're not looking at the spectator mode, unfortunately, which is annoying. And I'm pressing the little full screen thing, and nothing's happening. So,
Oh,
so
classic.
we'll have to make use of the tiny window, I guess, for race 2.
Thankfully, race 2 hasn't started yet, so we do have time. So,
And it's annoying that it's really off-center as well. I don't know why this has happened. Because, as you can see, Sergio Sete Cameraman is the name of our thing here. Our account in our factor. So hopefully, I think Nick Homewood, just fresh off a fresh off of finishing an amazing 15th place. Did he finish 15th or did 16th? He might have just missed the final point, I think, with that penalty near the end. But Nick Homewood has written in the chat, please don't leave the server to everyone, I think. And just before he wrote that, Bruce Duncan left, the SID driver.
Oh,
so
dear.
hopefully Bruce can get back in. Always entertaining to watch Bruce at work. But anyway, of course, Alex, you're an experienced driver in your own right. I've commentated on highlights of one of your races in Formula Sim Racing IndyCar.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever
of
driven
course.
touring cars before, Alex, in this game?
I did do the test race that EERC was doing. I think it was at Donington Park, if I'm correct.
Of course, yes, with the World Touring Cars.
Yes, I was doing a test race for that, and I had a really fun time with the cars, and I can see obviously it's been a big success with this season, and Silverstone, of course, being my home away from home, this race has surely been amazing so far, and I can't wait for race 2.
Ah, yes. And of course, that tends to be the chaotic one because it's reverse grid, of course, and it's a complete reverse grid apart from the non-finishers. And even then, I can't remember what we did the non-finishers last time. I think we might have actually just put them at the front. But I do know one of my drivers struggled to get into the first race, and they fixed it while the first race was going on. So hopefully they can get in time for the second race, Eric Kamedi. But we'll have to see. Hopefully I'm a bit less sweary in this race. But I seem to have fixed the issue. So
That's a good thing.
We're just looking at the calendar, by the way, while we get the spectator mode sorted out. Of course, after this, we have Nordschleife at the Nürburgring on the 10th of March, of course, because that's the month that comes after April. February.
Yeah, literally a month away. February being 28 days, so same day.
Because this all acts as a fun prelude to the endurance racing, and as Joshua said near the beginning, the second round of the EERC Endurance Championship with LMP1, LMP2, and is it LMDH? There's like a hypercar, a class that we've introduced, which is a lot of fun, and that is going to take place on the 19th, on the Saturday, of course.
Unfortunately, you will not hear any commentating from me because I'm racing in that, so...
Of course, yes. So best of luck on that, Alex.
Thank you.
You driving, I believe, for Valet, as you were in IndyCar.
I'm not driving for Valet in this one. I'm driving for VMS Sun Edits Racing for this one.
Of course, VMS.
Yes.
Not had a huge amount of luck, it must be said, VMS Edits. But they've been getting there. They're getting better.
Oh, yeah.
As unfortunately, we're having a bit of delay on our end, ladies and gentlemen. While we're trying desperately get R Factor to play ball. But we will get our live coverage of the warm-up as soon as it's ready. And then hopefully we'll be able to get straight into race 2. Because I'm sure everyone else is waiting very, very patiently for us to sort things out on our end. But anyway, Nordschleife will be a unique challenge, of course. Touring cars used to Nordschleife to the full, 113 corner layout. But endurance, 3 classes of endurance cars, that's going to be a very chaotic race, I imagine. And Barcelona, we saw how chaotic that was, a relatively short layout, so on a relatively long, twisty, challenging, technical, cambered layout in places with the carousel and corners like that. I'm sure the Nordschleife is going to be a real highlight in both touring cars and, of course, in endurance. After that, of course, on the 7th of April, we've got Interlagos, another classic, undulating, in, as I always say, the southern suburbs of Sao Paulo. A very Jim Rosenthal description of Interlagos from one of the old F1 games, I believe, that I constantly reuse. And then, of course, Bud, one of the newer tracks, the Bud International Circuit in India, of course, near New Delhi. That will be taking place on the 5th of May. Is that the 5th month? I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
5th of May.
there we go.
You're correct.
Learn the months with Edward James Hunter. And Alex Hannes, of course, who knows them way better. After that, of course, we got Road Atlanta. These are the touring car ones, obviously. Road Atlanta on the June.
June the 9th.
Yeah, June.
To be precise, yes.
Yeah, June 9th. So we can make our first foray to the United States before we go to another road circuit, Road America, which I also know very well from a season finale of the EERC Endurance in the first season took place at Road America. And that was quite an eventful one with both championships up for grabs on that occasion, and the winners being Madness Racing in GTs and one. Oh, of course, it was our first season champions in LMP2, which was RSS Unison Racing with Peter Vagapov and Denny Yashenko, who have made their comeback very successfully on the podium at Barcelona earlier this season. They sort of had a terrible season 2 where they opted out after the first 2 rounds because it wasn't going well. And they've made their comeback with Valet and doing well. Peter has. I'm not sure if Denny drives for them as well, but it was great to see Peter Vagapov back in action.
An amazing driver he is, I know that for sure.
Oh, I'm seeing on the full starter grid, Eric Kamedi back in the server, and that's great news in Hunter Birch Simulation Car number 7th. Not just because he's my driver, but Eric Kamedi. A little bit of news that I'll be saying at the end of race 2 about his time with the team, but he was one of the first drivers to sign up. Nobody else wanted to sign up, but Eric Kamedi did to our new commentator team, Hunter Birch Simulation. As there we go, we're back at Silverstone, ladies and gentlemen. We'll warm up, having neatly transpired while we've been away, sorting things out. And a big thank you to Nick Homewood, who I'm assuming is about to shoot off and get ready to race. And he could have a chance of winning with the reverse grid format. You never know. Fring of Ond always going to start near the front with the way it's panning out. And you see Pascal Leggett and Chris Davis setting times on the board.
Oh yeah, anything can happen in race 2. Anyone could be a winner.
Yeah, we saw so much
especially
chaos as
from
well.
the back, yeah.
Even if you've got a fast car, that ballast is going to make you vulnerable off the line.
Oh, definitely.
And we saw the ballast cars finishing both in the top 10. Some of the top 2, I believe, both finished in the top 10 in the form of Titus Conrad, I believe, leading the championship, and Valente in second, definitely. I know Valente's in second because he's my driver. So it's good that you're here, Alex, to give a little bit of less biased perspective, because I believe VMS do not have any representation.
No VMS, no Valet, no Epic Racing. I don't think I have any favourites on this race.
Well, Bloomshine, I believe, is a former Valet driver. Now drives for Iris. Had a terrible race, incidentally, in race 1, getting basically taken out in that incident. So hopefully he can have a much stronger run here. It'll be interesting to see what they do with the DNF drivers. Because if Bloomshine starts here at the front, I think he might be tough to catch.
It's going to be a last to first challenge for him, I think.
Yes. One other one to watch out for is Alloy, of course, with his lack of success ballast. As long as he can stay out of trouble, he tends to... in Barcelona, he had a really difficult reverse grid one, but he tends to be really quick. So as long as he can stay out of trouble, I think he could be a big threat here, because he seems to have a lot of pace. It was such a shame, really, that he took so long to get through the pack after that little incident he was involved in, because we saw Eric Neve lead by a big margin there. Could have been a little bit closer between the two had they not had that contact lowered further down. But Eric Neve, full credit to him, doing a superb job for his own team, Coach Eric Canamani. I know what it feels like to have your own team. I don't know what it feels like to win driving a car named after yourself, but Eric does, of course. And of course, the big drawback of that is going to have much more success ballast after the end of this, I feel. As we look at, is that Eric just leaving the pit lane now? We should get the auto director while we wait for the warm-up to elapse.
I know a few drivers in the second race. There's going to be a lots of madness with everyone trying to overtake the slower cars trying to defend against the faster cars. I know definitely in the fast corners, such as Abbey, Stowe and Cops, they've got to be really careful. Otherwise, there's going to be absolute carnage. And maybe into the barriers with a few drivers as well. Hopefully we don't get to see that, but, you know, it'll be very entertaining for the lots at home.
Yes, I realise we haven't got the driver box up, so nobody can actually see who on earth we're watching.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. We were just watching Stefan Nielsen, who I've always one of the organisers of the championship, occasionally likes to participate. And very quick over one lap, Stefan Nielsen. not had such great luck in the actual races though, so hopefully he can get a surprise result here. We'll have to see.
It's tight as Conrad. Which corner is that? Oh, that's going around Club Corner into the Hamilton Straight.
That's what it's called now, yeah.
Yeah, the newly named Hamilton Straight, yes.
Yeah, they keep seemingly keep changing them every time we go to Silverstone.
Yes.
I mean, it's great to have one named after. And there's Eric Kamady. He's made his way on track after, I was having so much trouble trying to get in for race 1. But Eric
and now
Kamady,
you can
of
see
course,
the stand that I was sitting in at the F1 Grand Prix last year. Third corner. Well, luckily this year I am going to Silverstone again, but this time I'm going to be at Copse Corner.
So you're there when the incident happens, because it's either Grosjean and Sainz running into one another, or it's going to be Hamilton Verstappen.
Yeah,
well, actually, no, Grosjean's obviously not in Formula 1 anymore, so it'd be Sainz hitting someone else.
Most likely.
Yes. Yeah, Copse never used to be a big collision. Well, actually, I guess it has, because there was 2010, the Red Bulls had a little coming together where Vettel
yes,
got punctured
indeed, yeah.
in me. So, but thankfully, we didn't see too. It was pretty clean actually through Copse. It was mainly the infield, the sort of village. Is it called the village section? Which is the two little twisty corners, or is it just called the loop?
I'm not sure which one. I think it's the arena corner.
The arena, yes.
Yes. Yeah, the Abbey, turn 1, Farm, turn 2, then 3, 4, 5, which is the arena, if I'm correct.
The arena was where we saw that big coming together in the battle for third and fourth, wasn't it? Because Conrad, Gilhead, and Aloy sort of came together.
Oh yeah, I saw that in race 1. I did not miss a thing. I was just hiding in the background, waiting for the start of race 2, but then I couldn't wait any longer. I had to start talking sooner or later, so...
I sort of forced your hand by drawing attention to you as we look at Eggert having a little off-track excursion, going sort of from the inside back over the curb, which is not the ideal line, to say the least. So Eggert didn't have a great race 1. Got a little penalty. He'll be having...
Whoa,
so
lots of drifting there from Eric.
Yes. Oh, Eric Kamady. Yes.
360,
he
wow,
was
impressive.
saying he was struggling for pace in practice, but I suspect pushing him a little bit too hard. I did just tell Eric, you know what, have fun out there, because that's what this is about. It's about having fun. And he's gone back to the pit lane now, so we haven't got long left in this warm-up, so hopefully we'll be seeing Eric Kamady fresh as a daisy for race 2.
Gotta say, there's lots of very great drifting in there. I think everyone's trying to be the drift king in race 2. Well,
yes.
it comes to look like it. I mean, Megas and Beckett's could be the favourites for that to happen. Because I see lots of drifting around happening in that corner.
It is such an awesome piece of track, as we see one of the Fring of On cars also going off track there with the purple wing mirrors. I believe that's... Well, it wouldn't happen to be a race director Nick Homewood, would it?
Gotta be careful what we talk about. We don't want to get
no,
fired.
Homewood is in the pit lane, so it's actually probably Pascal Eggert.
Yeah, it is.
There we go. Yes, I was just thinking about Pascal going off track. I should have assumed with the purple wing mirrors it was him again. It could be a steering issue. Look at this. That car's handling like a dump truck. Not turning
over
at all.
90 degrees turn. That's 180 there. I mean 360, sorry.
Yes, so everyone having fun as we go for the last couple of seconds of the warm-up. And we should be seeing the grid form up in just a few seconds for race 2. It's going to be an exciting reverse grid shenanigan. And should be Farrago starting on pole as the last finisher. I assume the DNFs and the newcomers will start at the very back.
Most likely.
Unless they get they take pity on them and put them all at the front.
I don't think the directors are that nice.
No.
I don't think they're too nice.
There we go. There's your audio cue that the pit lane is being prepped to form the grid. And we should see them all. No, they are putting the new guys at the front. So it will be Nielsen. They are that nice. We underestimated their generosity. So it will be Nielsen on pole from Eric Kamady, who neither of them started race 1. Tobias Blumschein, who's the final finisher from race 1, having DNF'd in the big accident, will start third, and he'll be a big threat. But with Farrago, Duncan, Iordache, Simonite, Schoenman, Marius Iordache, second of the Iordache family. Iordache? I need to ask them how they pronounce that. But of course, Daniel in the big yellow car. Morris in a different coloured one, I think. That's how you tell them apart.
You got to be really careful at the Abbey corner.
Yep.
Start of lap 1, otherwise
So a
it's
few
going to be...
gaps in the middle of the grid. Believe Skabados, Petravki, and Boros yet to form up. So, when the timer goes, we will start anticipating the start. Can Nielsen and Kimedi, they've got no success ballast. I believe Tobias doesn't have any either. No, he doesn't. So the first person with success ballast will probably be, I think Homewood actually. Or it might be Schumann, I think, might have scored a few points, enough to get success ballast. It's only the top 10 in the points. Here we go. The light's about to go out, and we'll be racing again at Silverstone for the second time today. And Nielsen get away from pole with Kimedi on the inside. Has Kimedi got a great enough start for the lead? He looks like he
Oh,
has.
wow, what a start.
And brilliant! Eric Kimedi leads for Hunter Burt Simulation. Oh, but that looks like Blumschein.
Oh,
Right
someone's
behind
off,
him, the
someone's got off.
car spins off. That was Simonite. And Simonite
Oh
falls
my
down
goodness.
the order.
Oh,
And,
there goes
oh,
Stefan.
Nielsen gets spun by Tobias. Tobias in the walls again. Oh, and this has been chaotic. And Kimedi having the dream start, pulling away. I don't think even in his wildest dreams he would have thought race 2 would have begun like that. But we see the melee continuing behind him as Tobias tries again to go around the outside of Nielsen, who's squirreling wildly
Whoa!
on
Someone
acceleration.
just went into the barriers.
Oh dear. Didn't see who that was. I think that might have been Davis. As we see Tobias getting through around the outside. And Nielsen really still there.
Oh,
On
contact!
the outside of Brooklands and actually gets back through. If only temporarily. And now Carl Magnus Borre, who had a really tough race 1, has got his way back up to 4th in all the
They're
chaos.
still fighting. They're still very
cars
close.
are on the verge of the top 10 now as well. Valente ahead, just behind Conrad. And Blumschein attacking Nielsen once again. Oh, Nielsen really not giving up here. And look at that. The two Irish cars squeezing together. And Borre really in a rock and a hard place here because he's got Iordache not far behind him. He can't afford to give up ground here. And Blumschein has to let Borre through. Borre immediately slides as Petravki gets a penalty for cutting the track. And it's all action here. And I think Carl Magnus Borre fancies a go at Stefan Nielsen. Here we go. Be careful as you like
Got
here.
the slipstream
As we look
advantage.
at Iordache in the middle of the pack. The two Iordaches both in yellow. I misspoke earlier. But Carl Magnus Borre continuing. Oh,
3 wide.
Nielsen almost gets
Wow.
squeezed between the two Irish. That was a pincer movement there. As Simonite continues to struggle after his spin. But there we go. Carl Magnus Borre up to second now. And Blumschein up to third. So now Kimedi is probably going to be looking in his mirrors and start worrying about the two Irish cars closing in. His two teammates still battling on the verges of the top 10. And in fact, I think both Hunter Birches have come to grief somewhere. Boros is out, Schumann is out. As we look at Borre, power sliding and about to give up position again.
Oh, there's someone sliding
is that
behind.
Conrad spinning at the first corner. It looks like he has Iordache and Geelhead going through.
I did say to be careful turn 1. And look what's going on now.
And it
Lots
looks
of
like
contact.
Nielsen is under attack by McHugh. Or is it Iordache going through? Daniel Iordache really on attack mode here as Homewood gets himself a penalty. There we go, Nielsen losing out to McHugh now as well in the white car, the white and green car. And there's the other Hunter Birch. That looks like Alawi in the top 10, just holding off on Warrior Sedlin. There's I'll just get a news item there with the box is green, but Borre is cutting it out to Kimedi to 1.6 there. So Borre has really got the bit between his teeth now after that little half spin and is closed in over the course of this lap. But the battle continuing all over the grid there. As we look at Valente down in 18th, that balance really hurting him. He had a little bit of a spin and he's battling with, who is that just ahead of him? that looks like Francisco Perez. So Valente was second in the championship going into this weekend, this day, race day. A Simonet gets himself a penalty. There he is, looking very embarrassed. Conrad has got going again and he's already got lost. Mario Siadache. Carl Magnus Bore continuing the gap pretty stable between himself and Kamedi. And I think Kamedi is driving better than I've ever seen him drive before in these touring cars. He's just got the bit between his teeth.
Someone's gone in!
Oh, that looks like Bruce Duncan. Oh dear, we saw Bruce Duncan don't need the server. He's left the track. And it looks like there might be some kind of a steering issue there.
Looks like suspension issue.
Yeah, look, that wheel's not straight. And Bruce Duncan will struggle to get that thing back to the pits. But everyone negotiates him cleanly. There's Aloy has come to grief because he's dropped down to 24th.
That must be the car that went into the wall.
He must have had some kind of incident with, possibly with, as we see, Kamedi sets a new best lap time of the race, and the steering is damaged on this Aloy. This has happened before to him in reverse grid races. But there we go, McHugh batting with Siadache for 4th place now.
Simonet with another penalty. Oh, contact! Wow, very close indeed. Very rough by McHugh.
There's Kamedi continuing to lead by 1.3 seconds from Carl Magnus Bore, as McHugh lets Sven Gielhed through now, actually, in the course of all those that battling he was doing with Siadache. It's not paid off for him. Gielhed is going to be a big threat, actually, to Bore and Blumschein if they can't clear Kamedi. Kamedi starting to be closed in a little bit, but still not making any big mistakes as we look at I'm just looking at McHugh hitting the back of Gielhed again into Brooklands. That was a bit of a scary moment, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Very, very scary moment indeed. A very rough start with a few drivers, two DNFs already, with 16 minutes to go. Not precisely 16 minutes, but close enough. But very, very close racing by a lot of drivers. McHugh having a bit of contact, I think that was at the arena corners. Very aggressive overtake, but still struggling behind. Oh no, he's not struggling behind. It seems to be ahead now. And he seems to be trying to catch up with the lot up front of him.
Yeah, I think Gielhed about to make a move on Siadache for 4th, Alex. Here we go, down Hanger Straight. So Sven is going to try around the outside of that bright yellow car, the Siadache racing car. And what can Daniel Siadache do on the inside as we look at one of the Coach Eric cars making a move in the back? And that's Eric Neef, of course, winner in race 1, getting through past Thomas McHugh. And Gielhed up the inside at Stowe. But Siadache is still there, Alex.
Oh, very close indeed. Here we go. Into Vale, turn 16, and into 17 Club Corner. He's got the advantage from the inside. I think they touched again there. Into the final corner they go. Turn 18 into Hamilton Straight. And he seems to have won P4. I think they're going to be still fighting up to the Abbey corner. But we'll see what happens as we go into turn 1.
Yes, and setting the timing screens alight is Eric Neath in that Coach Eric car. Remember, starting right from the back after having won in race 1. Now he fancies to go Siadache for 5th. Now that Gielhed has got through, and through he goes at the arena section. Siadache powerless to stop Eric as he speeds through, and we look at no, actually he spins, he taps him at the rear, and through goes down to Siadache back again in the 5th position. I spoke too soon.
Contact there!
That's Settling and McHugh coming to grief, and McHugh gets a penalty for that. He cut the inside.
Oh my goodness, absolute
so McHugh is going to drop out of that battle, much to relief of Maurice Sedland, who has not had the easiest time, but is struggling to hold on to that 7th position. And,
my new favourite corner.
As he has a go, actually, Eric Neath, who's now stuck behind. So this is going to be a big fun battle. Blumschein has got back ahead of Bore.
He's flashing his lights.
Him and Kamedi, 2.4 seconds. Eric Kamedi, 14 minutes left, driving out of his skin in that Hunter Burt simulation car. And it doesn't half fill me with pride to see Eric Kamedi performing so strongly. Because I sort of expected Tobias and Carl Magnus Bore to close rapidly, and that Eric Kamedi would fight valiantly, but eventually fall to 3rd. But he's held on much longer than I expected him to. Perhaps I should have had more faith in my driver, Alex.
And here comes Eric Neef, contact as well.
Outside that Magnus Beckett's opponent gets a penalty.
Into Chapel we go! Into the hangar straight, and it looks like it's going to be Neef versus Iridachi.
Little Settlin getting in the slipstream. He wants some of this action too, Alex.
Oh wow, here we go into Stone Corner, the fast right-hander, and it looks like Marius has managed to overtake. I think they're still fighting around that corner. And here we go. No, they're still side by side, nearly touching each other there. Into Vale. Oh, he's going to go into the pits.
Has to serve a penalty of some sort. Into the pit lane he goes, and McHugh follows him through. So that's the end of that battle.
Absolutely exciting stuff.
It was quite a clever move there from Iridachi to let them through. Although Neef, he had to let Neef through as well, which was somewhat not part of the plan. But now, Carmania Sport is being closed by Geelhead. Blumshine has cut the gap to 1.5 to Kamedi. So, Blumshine getting the bit between his teeth has started. The Team Iris cars, all three of them can work together here. Eric Kamedi has got the toughest job in the world on his own to hold up one of the strongest teams in this championship, hasn't he, Alex?
Oh yes, I know that Iris has a really good history of, you know, being able to get wins from second place after, well, being there for quite a long while, getting that comeback, especially in most endurance races as well.
Oh, and Eggert fighting with Valente for 13th there. As we saw, Alloy has gotten a penalty, so clearly coming to grief after his damaged steering. But he has got going again, and look at this, Eggert right alongside.
Oh my goodness.
Valente tries to go round the outside of him. This will get 54 kilograms of ballast in that bright green Honda simulation car. But Eggert, powerless to stop Valente getting past him. Great
defending there over at the Luffield corner. And here we go, Eric Kumedi. It looks like he's still up there, only by 2 seconds. But let's see what Tobias can do in the last 11 minutes. Could he catch up to Eric?
Oh, is that Neef trying to get past
my goodness.
Geelhead?
What a move!
Bore, sorry. Bore falling apart.
Off.
Much like he did in race. He's cut the corner there. Surely he'll have to get that place back.
He's got to give that back. He definitely has to give that back. That is absolutely corner cutting there. And if he does not, there's going to be a lot of talks in the paddock after the race.
Yeah, there we go. And it looks like it looks like Conrad fighting McHugh in the background as well. But Tobias, meanwhile, struggling to get on terms really with Kamedi. And he's gone in!
He's gone in!
Oh, that's a big controversial moment then. So something has happened to Tobias Blumshine. Perhaps a penalty that we missed on, I missed on screen. But that is really going to hurt his race. Into the pit lane he goes. And Geelhead assumes second position now. So Iris in a much weaker position.
Oh, man.
And he's just done a drive-through. He's just gone straight through. So something odd happening there.
A new best lap time by Conrad on 2:15.
Yeah, so Coach Eric synced the timing, both cars synced the timing screens alike because Eric Neef, who's got the forefront, Tobias emerged just in front of him and they spin.
Very
struggling to hold on to that third place. Eric goes through. Eric Neef, winner in race one, up to third now. What an impressive drive this has been.
Another moment caught at Arena Corner as well.
Yes, and could Eric Neef win both races? He's still got to clear Geelhead and then Kamedi.
Oh, again!
And Tobias, it's all coming apart for him.
No! It's just all gone wrong for Tobias.
He hits the spins off Conrad as he rejoins. What a disastrous through corners there for Tobias Blumshine. From second down to sixth, and he's hit 2 Coach Eric cars in the process.
Oh no, this is not what he wanted to do after that drive-through. This is definitely not his race indeed.
Yes, and that's how quickly it can unravel for you. Just a few things don't go your way, and suddenly a whole load of points have gone begging. But there's Eric Neef now, and look at that 5-second gap between Geelhead and Kamedi. And you keep thinking, every time it looks like someone might reel Eric Kamedi in, something happens and he extends the gap. And certainly, if you thought Eric Kamedi was going to be a pushover, you've been proven severely wrong as Simonite gets another penalty. So the third Coach Eric car not quite having the success of his 2 teammates, but Ruben still in the race as Titus down 11 just loses out to Sedland. Actually, there he is. And actually that's Scavados having a battle of his own. As Conrad continues, I think there might be some damage to that car. Look at him.
Yeah, it looks like to have
bit
some difficulties.
Yeah, there we go. Let's look on board. As Bore now in the pits as well.
Must be
What
another
is going
drive-through.
on? So Gila all
Oh,
on his
another
own.
one!
I thought Bore had just gotten by Eric Neef and is now going in the pit lane. So something bizarre is happening here. Is there some kind of way where it's quicker to go through the pit lane? Is that what they're trying out here?
Oh, maybe it's another Oprah Winfrey moment. Everyone being handed penalties left, right, and centre.
There we go. So Carl Magnus has got going again in 5th, actually. There's EERC, who's just gone ahead of them. EERC, of course, has got Davis, Bore, Blunshine, and they're going to cause him a lot of trouble as this race goes on. There's Simonite. That car's not looking like it's going in a straight line anymore.
That does not look healthy. That does definitely not look healthy at all.
But now Tobias and Carl Magnus in the Iris are going to have a big fight with one another, I imagine. Although Tobias may start to worry about falling into the clutches of Perez and Hill behind him. Chris Hill actually having a little fight with Sedland in the background.
Oh, it looks like Sedland's done it.
Yeah, good move
Oh
by
no, they're
Boris
still
Sedland.
fighting. Wow, Hill's got it back.
Yeah, there we go. Chris Hill not a pushover whatsoever. Is Bruce Duncan getting another penalty near the back. At the very back, actually. Still behind Thomas McHugh, who's retired, actually.
Oh, he's gonna make a move. Oh, don't do it at Cops. It's gonna be don't make contact at Cops.
Sedland's on the outside here. I don't think he's going to be able to get this one to work.
Oh, it's gone for the
Yes, actually,
inside.
there we
What
go.
a move!
Once
What
again,
an
I'm
amazing
picking my
move at
words
Cops.
as Chris Hill slots in behind him. And, yeah,
Oh,
looks like Scavados
contact
wants to go.
there.
And Scavados almost slides into Chris Hill there. Good save.
Oh,
Wow. All the action, but up front, Eric Kamedi continues untroubled. And Bore gets a penalty, so it's all going to come undone for him.
Bore's got to go
more
into the pits
in
now.
6th. There he is. So that will have put these Tobias Blunshine back into the top 6, but Davis and EERC free to have their own little private battle now, essentially. Unless EERC is going into the pits,
EERC is
which
going
he
in.
is.
And there goes
Followed,
Bore
of
as
course,
like
by
going in.
Bore.
Oh, there's the other
And
Irish
Tobias.
car. Oh, the Irish car's
They
going in
cannot
there.
stay out of the pits, can they, Alex?
Nah, it seems something's happening. I don't know what's happening. I was kind of
Either way,
hoping for
Titus
maybe an Irish
Conrad's
fight.
mine because it gets him back ahead of the Irish cars.
A very insane race it is indeed. I was kind of hoping for Tobias fighting with Bore, an Irish fight, or some sort of like
Yeah, but Neef
strap
sets
here.
another fastest lap, actually. He's within a second of Geelhead. I think he might be able to attack within the next couple of laps, but there's only 5 minutes left. You have to say, Eric Kermady has been doing everything right so far.
Look
And
at
Eric
that
Neef
gap.
cannot get on song with him.
Look at that gap between Geelhead and Kimedy. That's amazing.
Yeah,
He's doing
especially
so well in this race.
Eric Kermady, who's not had that much experience running out in the front in this championship. And but Eric Neef, his namesake, could be the big threat if only he could clear Sven Geelhead. But Geelhead holding firm, not making mistakes. Look at Neef letting the rear step out of Brooklands just a few seconds ago. And yeah, this is going to be the big battle, I think. But we should keep an eye on, I guess, Davis is sort of on his own. Sedland has got Perez right behind him, so the two Prina Bonds are going to have a little private battle as well. Here we go. Actually, EERC might be just feeding in the pit lane there.
Oh, it looks like Hill's in his mirrors in here. Fight for 6th place.
Oh, look at this! Eric Neef going through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. He tries to go through the outside as
close.
Blunshine gets another penalty. Presumably for the pit lane related thing. But at Neef in the slipstream now. What can Sven Geelhead do here? Is Eric Neef shining the lights even though it's the middle of the day? That's how intimidating he is in that Subaru. What can the purple MG do?
Oh, nearly
against that
touched there.
dark red and black Coach Eric Academy car?
Can he make
And
a
then
move? No,
penalty
he's
for
going
Neef.
in. Wow.
He's into the pit lane.
He has a penalty.
So, I think it could be another corner cutting. And he's looking at him flashing those lights. No wonder he's so angry. Move himself perhaps, or just with the penalty. But that could potentially let Chris Davis into third then.
There's Bruce Duncan 24. A lap down, apparently.
There we go. Can Chris Davis get out ahead of Neef, or did Neef have the gap he needed? There's Geelhead. There we go. I think Neef is still in third. There we go.
Yeah,
He
looks like
emerges.
it. Very comfortably
Only
third.
lost a few seconds actually to Geelhead, so I guess he could try again.
Very soon, maybe in the next couple of laps.
Seems like Eric Comedy the only person not to go in the pit lane in this race. Oh, Sven as well. I don't think Sven has done it either.
Yeah,
Stefan,
I don't think Sven's
who started
been
on pole, let's not forget, having a bit of trouble into club. And there was a battle going on behind him. As the Iadashe continues to have his race unravel upon him behind the Iris. So they've both got that in common. Like,
and a penalty for
Eggert is going to
Eggert.
have to come in now as well. But
Oh
yes,
my
Tobias
goodness.
serving that penalty. There's
This
Eggert.
can be.
He looks at a massive scrap going on in front of him between Conrad, Scabados, Hill and Perez. Here we go. I think Scabados being overtaken
Wow.
by Perez.
Oh,
As we look at Nielsen struggling, continuing to struggle.
Is he having suspension?
And Chris
trouble?
Hill
That's my question.
has got a great view of Scabados and Perez fighting ahead of him. Can Chris Hill take advantage of this as Geelhead, the gap between himself and Kamedi, as we go towards the final lap?
Oh, he's gone a bit wide.
Oh, mistake by Perez. And Scabados has had a great reverse grid race. Goes back into 6th position. And the Ring of On car really badly held up there.
It's time for Hill's turn to make a move soon. He doesn't want to lose this at all.
Yes, and behind that's Eggert
Oh,
making
wow,
a
that's
mistake.
a huge corner.
And I believe Eggert making a mistake is going to allow Valente up into the top 10. So Valente's had a really tough race. It might be able to squeeze a point out of this one. Here we go. Look at them
Stoke
squabbling.
corner.
It's almost like Eggert's going to have to pit behind, but he's going to try and go around the outside of Conrad. Although he thinks better of that one, actually. And Chris Hill continues to watch, to get the popcorn out and watch Perez and Scabados squabble away in front of him.
Oh, one's gone into the pits. Looks like I think that was
Perez!
Eggert.
Oh, nearly took Scabados out there by hitting him in the side, but just about was able to avoid more serious contact. And the Ring of On driver, Sutherland has cleared all of them, by the way, and is running in a very strong 5th. As we see Simonite get a penalty, and look at behind them! That's Hill defending heavily from Conrad. Is that Neef coming in the pits again, or one of
It
the?
looks like it. Well, I think it could have been Simonite, because he was in the pits as well, maybe.
No, I think Neef is quite a few seconds up the road. As we look at Valente struggling to hold on from one of the other Ring of On cars.
Oh my
And
goodness!
Conrad up the inside of the
Oh!
margin to the side.
Very close indeed. Around at turn 4 and turn 5. Very great overtaking there.
Yeah, there we go. A little bit hairy, but he just about pulled that one off. And I believe behind Valente it's Eggert who's just served his penalty, of course, as Bloomshine out of nowhere sets the fast lap race 2 minutes 14.5. Geelhead holding the gap at 4 seconds now, so it has closed a little bit between himself and Kamedi.
Yellow in sector 2. We're out of time.
We've run out of time. So we are coming towards the end of the race then. And Eric Kamedi is on his way to take Hunter Birch Simulations' historic first victory ever
I tell
in
you
any
what.
championship.
I tell you what an amazing race he had. That was an amazing
And meanwhile,
race.
his
He's been
teammate
first
continues
place.
to hold off Pascal Eggert. But Kamedi has only got a few more corners to go now.
Going around Stowe Corner.
And,
Had an amazing race. Has it been P1 for the entire race
yes,
with no
and
trouble?
Neef continues to
Wow.
close in Geelhead. But up front, it's too little too late to challenge Eric Kamedi, the first driver to sign up for Hunter Birch Simulation. He's had his trials, he's had his tribulations, but he comes over the line now and to win the reverse grid race at Silverstone. And myself and Joshua Birch couldn't be happier. Eric
Amazing.
Kamedi, a winner
Well done, Eric.
in EERC Touring Cars. And wow, does he deserve it?
It looks like saying Geelhead has got second.
Neef
Neef.
just held off Neef.
Neef
He was
got
charging
third.
at the end there. Neef could have got him without that trip to the pit lane, couldn't he? As Chris Davis actually comes over to take an amazing 4th position.
Amazing race from him.
Yes, Sutherland takes 5th, Savados 6th, Conrad 7th, Perez 8th, Valente will take 9th in the end. Or will he actually? No! Chris Hill and Valente. Oh, look at them all coming to grief there at the end. Oh, we just missed that.
Dear.
Apologies.
What an ending.
But, Valente will just get will actually beat Chris Hill to 9th, I think, in the final order. But Chris Hill had a really difficult end there. Lost a few places, but dramatic. It does not get more dramatic than that. A new winner. Close battles all over the pits. Cars could not keep out of the pit lane. I don't even know where to start with that one, Alex.
Yes, that was quite an amazing race. So much competition going on, especially at the arena's corners, turns 3, 4, and 5. Lots of contact, lots of drama as well. I mean, I can't believe it.
Here we go. So, without further ado, let's have a look at the final results then. So, Eric Kamedi takes a historic first win for 100-bit simulation. Perhaps I'm over-egging the historicness, but I'm certainly over the moon. Sven Gielhed takes second, and more crucial point, 2 podiums in a row for Gielhed and Neef, which is going to do their championship a world of positive good, which is the main kind of good that there is. You don't have a lukewarm good, it's mainly positive good. Neef just missing out in third on second place. Chris Davis gets his championship seriously underway with a very impressive 2 races. He finishes 4th. Moria Sedlin takes 5th for Ring of Honor Motorsport. Victor Scabaros takes his best finish in 6th, doing really well to hold off Titus Conrad, who was a little unlucky. But he, I believe, will come out still within a couple of points of the championship lead. Francisco Perez will take 8th. Alessandro Valente. Difficult run for him with that ballast, but he holds on to 9th from Chris Hill, who had a very strong race of his own, but it just unravelled right towards the end there. Then in 11th place, we should see on screen in a minute, but actually no, we see a thing get in the way, so we don't see it. There we go. I was pressing the wrong key, that was why nothing was happening. Pascal Eggert takes 11th. Maximilian Petravki also takes 11th, but it's actually 12th. Nick Homewood takes 13th, which is a good result for him, actually, considering the chaos going on there. Mario Ciadache takes 13th. Nassim Alaoui, 14th in the end, after all that chaos, broken steering. So that's a good recovery from him. Carl Bangasporo, 16th. Daniel Iadashi, 17th. Stefan Nielsen, 18th, I think. Tobias Blumschein, 19th. Akos Farago takes 20th place. Then 21st, Adam Varga. Ruben Simonite, 22nd.